Hey everybody, so back with another video here. So I got another Honeywell air purifier. This is a different model this time, but it's having some issues. Now the light was staying on it, and I've reset it. That is supposed to tell you that the filters need to be cleaned, but the owner said that she had cleaned them a couple times now and that light won't go out. Now you have to reset it yourself on this unit, which is kind of different, but that's the way these guys are. So yeah, let's take it apart and I'll show you how to clean out the filters on these guys, and maybe we'll take it apart a little further and get right into it and clean it out. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is a fairly tall unit, so I'm just going to do it on the floor here so you guys can see what's going on. Okay, so start with on these guys. This little clip in the back. This piece will come off. Now it has a filter in here. It's a pre-filter, I guess. So this will need to be washed. I would say to do this, I don't know, maybe once a month, because it's just like, it's pushing air around your room. You don't want it to be pushing dirty air, so I guess the more you clean it, the better. But got two more filters in here. So these actually tell you that this part is the top, and on the side it tells you which way to actually put them in, so you can't really screw up putting these in as long as you make sure it's all the way in and it's sitting on these little tabs right here. Yeah, you're good. So as you can see, it gets pretty dirty in here. Now a lot of this stuff is almost like a stain. Some of it can be wiped off, but most of it is pretty stained on there, but we'll see what we can get off anyway. So there is a bunch of screws going through this guy. So I'm going to take those out, and this front piece should come right off. So I'll do that and show you guys what that looks like. Okay, so I've taken out all the screws. Try to remember which ones go where, because it looks like there's actually 3 different kind of screws that come out of this thing. So I actually had to take off more than I thought. There's 2 up here. I also took the 2 out for this little handle carrying piece here, just because it seemed like it was in the way of this coming off. So yeah, 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, and 2 down at the bottom here. But what I found was there's a couple of the screws that were actually Torx. They were T15s, and most of the other ones were Phillips, but they seem to be in complete opposite corners. So I don't know whether that was, I don't know, their intention kind of to keep everybody out, or whether this thing's been apart before and somebody just put the screws back in the wrong spot. I'm not sure, but yeah, just try to see, I guess, which screws you take out of which hole and put them back in the same way. So I have to pry between these layers a little bit to get this even started. So it was fairly on there. So we got this whole piece off, and we can get the rest of the screws out of there. Some of them were stuck in there and just did not want to come out. Okay, so that one. Okay, that's all of them. All right. So now we're left with now fan here, and a whole bunch of stuff that we can clean out of here. It's not really actually too terrible inside of here. We can do a little bit, but we don't want to, you know, screw up any wiring or any of that kind of fun stuff. And I know I don't really have to say this, but if you haven't unplugged the machine by this point, definitely do that, because we don't need this thing to be live. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just lay this down. I'm gonna clean out a bunch of this stuff in here. Actually, let me lower this so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm gonna clean out a bunch of this stuff in here. Just looks like a vacuum and a rag. I should be able to get pretty much most of that out. This piece, I'm just gonna actually wash it in the sink. And the filters, that pre-filter you can wash, you know, just soap and water, a couple drops of soap. You don't need a lot. These filters, you can do the same thing with them, but you have to let them dry for probably about 24 hours before you put them back into this guy to run. So yeah, anyway, we'll get that started. I'm gonna see how dirty these filters are right here, because you don't want to use any kind of cleaners on these guys, because it is a filter, and you don't want your filter to be full of some kind of chemical. So just water and a little bit of soap maybe in the water. But yeah, we'll do that, and I'll get back to you guys here when I get this cleaned out. All right, so everything is all cleaned up and dry. This filter seems like it stretched a little, but that'll be okay. So we'll put the filters back in after we put everything back together. I think I'm going to turn this camera a little bit so you guys can see. Oh, maybe a little better. Okay, so put this guy back together. Separated out my screws, so I know which is going where. So put this guy back on. What you notice is when you put this back in, this piece, it has to be up in behind these two little tabs for the handle piece. I'll show you everything I need in there. It is a fairly tight fit, so you might have to work it a little bit. Make sure that none of the wires that are in behind here are caught in any of the tracks or anything like that, but just Put it on slow. Those go together not too bad. Like I said, it's a little tight, but that is good. That's exactly what you want. It's probably a lot easier to put these screws in while it's laying down. Alright, and we can put our filters back in. So like I said, they're labeled. This one says bottom, so this is the top. It doesn't matter which position the filters go in, this has to be facing up, which is labeled the top. Like I said, there's these little tabs right here that this little edge needs to sit in. So make sure it's top, and the arrow's going this way. So we'll just hook it into there and push it in. And it should make like a locking kind of sound when you push it in. There we go. And I'll put this cover back on. And that is it. So what we always do now is plug it in, run it, make sure it's actually going to work like it's supposed to. So we'll do that, and see you guys in a sec. And so this guy's actually got 3 speeds, so make sure all those speeds work, and nothing wiring wise inside has come undone or anything like that. So the part that I was talking about earlier with that light is right here. So this light will come on when it sees that these filters need to be cleaned. So after you clean the filters, you can take like a little, I actually used a toothpick, but a little cap for a pen or something like that, and you can poke in that little reset button right inside there. Once you reset that, light goes out, and the machine will work fine before you do that. It'll keep running, but it just is kind of an annoying reminder that you need to reset that or clean the filters. Okay, so that's it for this video. So if you guys like these videos, let me know. Leave a comment telling me whether you have attempted this or not and how well it went. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if this is the type of channel that you want to be following. because you'll see a lot of good videos here on every appliance and whatever else. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good day.